Okay, a very good morning to all of you. So let me start with the drama, with the lesson, chapter number 5 from Snapshots. It is Mother's Day. So hereby I am sharing the screen with you all. I hope it will be visible. Can any one of you say whether it is visible to? It is visible. Can you all see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the feedback. Now let's start with the proceedings. As you know that Doris, she was being criticized. Her boyfriend Charlie Spency was being criticized, and she was so terribly upset that she ran out of the room. And after her exit, we find the entry of another important character, and that character name is, as I am highlighting here, I hope you can see it, Cyril Pearson. That is the name of that particular character. So see, it is written, Doris runs out, and I will be skipping some lines. I will be explaining only the important segments, okay, from this particular drama. So you should keep your textbook by your side, and obviously you can follow the screen also. So when I am highlighting something on the screen, you can mark it on your textbook. Okay, it will be very important for your exam. So see, Doris runs out. Mrs. Pearson chuckles and begins putting the cards together because it was her target only to demoralize and demotivate Doris. And what was the plan? The plan was that to criticize Doris's boyfriend, and that was what exactly Mrs. Pearson did. But we know it was in actual, it was not Mrs. Pearson, it was Mrs. Fitzgerald, because one of the most important theme that we find in this particular drama is that personalities change bodies, isn't it? Now you see, Doris runs out left. Mrs. Pearson chuckles and begins putting the cards together. After a moment, Cyril Pearson enters left. He is the masculine counterpart of Doris. Now, this is something very, very important. Can any one of you try? What is the meaning of this line? He is the masculine counterpart of Doris. What does this line actually suggest? Can any one of you try? What does this line suggest? He is the masculine counterpart of Doris. Yes, dear students, what does actually it refers to? Or rather to say in other words, what does it means? Yes, anyone?
Sir, it is the same character as Doris, but it is in the masculine form. Means gender is the only difference.
Yes, very good. Gender is the only difference. His character is same, just like her character is. Very good, very nice. Absolutely right. Only the point of difference is in the gender, because her sister was feminine, he is masculine, and the behavior towards the mother is exactly the same. That means just like his sister is to neglect her mother, he also used to neglect his mother. Okay, their mentality is same, just the only difference is the difference in the gender. Very nice, very good. Okay, now let me move on to the next page. Cyril, mom, tea ready. Look how arrogant she is, and look how she is, how arrogant he is, and look how he is talking with his mother in a very arrogant manner. Hello, mom, tea ready. As if mother is like a housemaid. Mrs. Pearson, no, very casually. Cyril, why not? I couldn't bother. No, I haven't bothered about it. If you want to prepare it, go to the kitchen and prepare it. Cyril, feeling off color or something. Now, feeling off color. The meaning is that, are you not feeling well? Are you not well? Mrs. Pearson, never felt better in my life. I never ever had felt better in my life. I am feeling really, really well. I am feeling very excited. I am feeling very happy. Okay, never felt better in my life. Now, Cyril is getting a bit aggressive. What's the idea then? That means you won't be preparing any tea. Now let me presume that you won't be preparing any tea at all. Mrs. Pearson, just a change. I have changed my mind. Why so? Why you are in such a hurry? No, I won't be preparing any tea right now. If you want, you can help yourself preparing a cup of tea for yourself. Now, Cyril, well, snap out of it, ma, and get cracking. Haven't too much time. Now, Cyril, now obviously Cyril is getting very agitated. Now, very frankly, he told his mother that what exactly is troubling you? What is the matter with you? Is there anything, any problem that you are facing? Because please prepare a cup of tea for me because I haven't got too much time. Actually, Cyril and Doris, they are good for nothing. As I told you earlier, Doris, what she does, she goes on giving a lot of makeups, wears new dresses and goes out with her boyfriend. That is what she does. And if you think about Cyril, you will get to know later, he is into gambling, okay, dog races, gambling, ice shows and all this. He spends a lot of money, his father's money of course, in all these nonsensical activities. And he behaves as if he works so much, okay, and even the same mentality can be seen in case of Doris also. She behaves as if she did a lot of work, but practically both the son and the daughter, they are good for nothing. They don't have good manners also. They haven't learned good manners from their mother and father. Okay, that is the reason I told previously only that Mrs. Pearson, she might be doing a lot in order to impress her family members, okay, in order to she is doing a lot in order to satisfy them, but at the end of the day she is not a successful homemaker, she is not a successful mother. Now why I told right now that she is not a successful homemaker or she is not a successful mother, the reason is that she excessively pampered her children. She excessively pampered her son, she excessively pampered her daughter. Okay, now so much she pampered that they don't care about anything. They haven't learned any moral values, they haven't learned any good values, they don't know how to respect seniors, they don't know how to talk, in which way to talk with elders. And most sad part is that even Mrs. Pearson, who does a lot for her family members, unfortunately she never gets anything good in return. She is always taken for granted. Okay, and this type of dialogues, okay, snap out of it, ma, haven't too much time, hey mom, tea ready. What does it reflects? This reflects that this son, just like the daughter, takes their mother for granted, never pays any attention to the problems and sufferings of their mother at all. They are always eager to fulfill their own work, and as soon as that is over, they go out of the house. Whenever they need anything, they come back to the house. And even the most sad part is that they are not self-independent. Neither the husband of Mrs. Pearson, he is self-independent, neither the son nor the daughter. For everything, on slight pretext, on everything they depend on their mother. That is the most sad part. And she does everything for them. Okay. And ultimately what she gets in return? She gets abuses, curses, insults and humiliation in return. So that is the sad part. Okay. Now let me move on. Cyril, well, snap out of it, ma, and get cracking. Haven't too much time. Cyril is about to go when Mrs. Pearson's voice checks in. Mrs. Pearson, I have plenty of time. I won't be preparing any cup of tea right now. If you are in such a hurry, why don't you help yourself and prepare a cup of tea for yourself only? I have plenty of time. Now, Cyril, look at the way, look at the audacity of the boy. Yes, but I haven't. You might have plenty of time. You are at home. So you have ample amount of luxurious time or leisure time. But I haven't got a busy night tonight. I told you no that he is into gambling and all these things. He spends a lot of money, he wastes a lot of money, his father's money. So this, and he goes for party, okay, dog races, gambling, ice shows, as I told you. And you will find it later also as we will proceed. You will find more information highlighting Cyril's nature, Cyril's character, Cyril's whereabouts, what Cyril does. Just like we get to know about Doris also. So this line is a clear indication of what I told you all right now. got a busy night tonight. That mother, I don't have so much time. I have a busy night tonight. So make it fast. Go to the kitchen and prepare for me a cup of tea. Did you put my things out? Look again, that ordering mentality is still there. This is surprising that we can't think of talking with our parents in this way. Okay, because the important thing is that how can one be a good parent? Obviously, we have to love our children at the same time. We have to scold them also, and we have to make them realize what is right and what is wrong, right? From a very early childhood, isn't it? But here we find that Mrs. Pearson went on loving and excessively went on pampering her children. Never ever she scolded her daughter, never ever she had beaten or scolded her son, and that is the reason they turned out to be like these caricatures. Okay, they turned out to be they turned out to be those individuals who never care about anyone. They don't care about their mother also, because the way, look at the way he is talking with his mother. And previously also we find Doris talking in a very rough manner with his mother. We find that Cyril also following the same footsteps, and that is the reason J.B. Presley rightly had referred to Cyril as the masculine counterpart of Doris, isn't it? Okay, now you see this line, did you put my things out? Now what are these things referred to? These things refers to clothes, okay, wardrobes. Okay, now it is the duty that she will iron her daughter's yellow silk dress, she will put the clothes of her son in proper order and all this. That was her duty. That means apart from taking care of her family members, she will cook for them, she will clean the house, and unfortunately she will do their laundry also. Why? Because they are grown up, but still they are not self-independent, because it was entirely because of her, because she never ever taught them to be self-independent. She haven't scolded them also. Now they turned out to be individuals not respecting anyone, neither have any moral values nor any good manners also they had learnt. And look at the way they are talking with their mother. So that is the reason that magic, okay, that was being performed by Mrs. Fitzgerald, that was of dire necessity. It was needed because for Mrs. Pearson herself, it was next to impossible to go on arguing with her family members. So Mrs. Fitzgerald realized that one, and that was the reason the magical change was being done. That what we call, it is referred as a very important theme related with this drama, personalities change bodies, isn't it? Okay, now let us move on. So up to this it is clear to all of you. I went and discussed some of the important points also related with this drama. Okay, fine. Okay, so now let us move on then. See, did you put my things out? Now look the way he is talking. Mrs. Pearson, she is also replying in the same tone. Can't remember, but I doubt it. Cyril moving to the table protesting. Now look, when I asked you this morning, you promised. You said you'd have to look through them first in case there was any mending. Mending means when you are arranging it, when you are ironing it. So Cyril told that you have already promised that you will keep my clothes properly, you will mend it properly. You only promised me this morning. Now look what Mrs. Pearson is saying. Okay. Yes, well, now I have decided I don't like mending. I have changed my mind. Maybe at that time I told you that I like mending, but now I changed my mind. I don't like mending at all. Cyril, that's a nice way to talk, and I'm surprised the way you are talking. Okay, and in a rude manner you are talking with me. What would happen if we all talk like that? Okay, as if they don't talk with their mother in this tone. They talk with their mother exactly in this tone, but they never realize it. And that is the reason Mrs. Fitzgerald's main target was to make them realize how it feels to get insulted, how it feels to get humiliated, to make the family members of Mrs. Pearson realize the importance of a lady, importance of a mother in the house. Okay, now the way Mrs. Pearson, she is behaving, definitely she is behaving in a very rough and rude manner. Cyril is getting astounded. But dear students, let me remind you all this. To be very honest, Cyril, Doris, and George Pearson, they all interact with her in this rough manner only. They never realize that how bad and how humiliated, how broken she feels. Okay, every time when she was being, interacted in such a rough manner, they don't realize it. The moment she is talking in such a rough manner, then only it creates a big issue for Cyril. But when Cyril and Doris and George Pearson, they repeatedly day after day misbehave with her, take her for granted, they don't realize these things at that time. Okay, that is the reason they are getting a taste of their own medicine. Okay, they are getting a taste of their own medicine, we can say. Now, and that is entirely possible because of Mrs. Fitzgerald, because she was the one who performed the magic. Personalities change bodies, and ultimately this happened. See now, you all do talk like that. If there's something at home you don't want to do, you don't do it. If it's something at your work, you get the union to bar it. Now all that's happened is that I have joined the movement. Now this is something very, very important dialogue. Okay, now probably newspapers, in movies, you have seen that whenever the factory workers, okay, they are not satisfied with their demands. So what they do? Okay, what the factory workers do when they are not, satisfied with their demands? What they do? They go on working in the factory, or they go on a strike? First, you all say that. Say this. Do they go on working, or do they go on a strike? When their demands are not fulfilled, what the workers they do?
They go on a strike, sir.
Yes, very good. They go on a strike, right? Because they have a union, they have a legitimate demand. When their legitimate demand is not fulfilled, they definitely go on a strike. What they do, you have seen in many movies also, you have seen in newspaper clippings also, that near the gate they all assemble. They don't go inside. Okay, they carry some flags in their hand, and they go on protesting against the manager, the factory owner. Okay, why? Because their demands are not fulfilled. So what Mrs. Pearson is saying, that she will be also from now on, she will be protesting against those things that are not satisfying to her wish or demand. Just like the factory workers, part of the union, they go on a strike. Now what she is saying, her point of view is that if she is not satisfied with any part of the work that she was being entrusted with, then of course she might go on a strike. Okay, see this, it is written here. Now all that's happened is that I have joined the movement. What does she mean to say is that just like the workers, when their demands are not fulfilled, they go on a strike so that their demands can be fulfilled. Okay, similarly also she is working at home. Now if her demands are not fulfilled, if her likes and dislikes are not being given due importance, then definitely she might, like the workers, she might stop working. Okay, she might join the movement on her own. Okay, movement is here, can be referred to as a form of protest. Okay, we can say movement. Now Cyril, he is astounded. What is the meaning of astounded? Totally surprised, because he never expected his mother, who actually was very calm, quiet and docile, will behave in this manner. Okay, he haven't expected it. I don't get this, mom. What's going on? What is the problem with you, mother? I'm not getting it. You are comparing yourself with the factory workers, just like the factory workers, when their demands are not fulfilled, they go on a strike. You want to go on a strike like that. I'm not getting it, mother. What's troubling you? What is your main problem? Mrs. Pearson very casually, she told, changes. I have changed my mind. I won't be like what I was previously. I have changed myself. Okay. Now when this conversation is going on, obviously it turned heated. Okay, we can say it was a heated conversation is going on. At this time Doris enters. Okay, and obviously she is not in a good mood, and she is looking very terrible also. She has cried a lot. Okay, why she has cried a lot? I will be asking you this question. See this? She is in the process of dressing. She haven't dressed up yet. We are not sure whether she will go on a romantic date with Charles Spencer or not. We are not sure about it. See, she is in the process of dressing and is now wearing a wrap. She looks pale and red-eyed. Obviously, she looks pale and obviously she is red-eyed. Okay. Now, Mrs. Pearson, you look terrible. I won't wear that face even for Charlie Spencer. You look horrible. You look terrible. I won't wear that face even for Charlie Spencer. That means with this makeup, you are about to go out with your boyfriend Charlie Spencer. If I would have been in your place, I would have dumped that boy. Okay, by this time, I wouldn't have went with him. Now, every time Mrs. Pearson is targeting Doris's boyfriend, now Doris is getting very angry. Doris previously, she was broken from inside, she haven't told anything. But now, when Mrs. Pearson is insulting about Charlie Spencer in front of her brother, it is too much for her. Now she was about to retaliate. Okay, she was now about to say something. See, shut up with Charlie Spencer. And anyhow, I am not ready yet, just dressing. Please don't say anything more regarding my boyfriend Charlie Spencer. And I haven't got ready yet, I am just dressing. And if I do look terrible, it's your fault. You made me cry. And if I look horrible, if I look terrible, it's your fault. Okay, because you made me cry. And that is the reason I look so out of place. I look so terrible because of you, because you scolded me and because you made me cry. Now, Cyril, because Cyril was not there at that time when Mrs. Pearson scolded her daughter Doris. So that was the reason Cyril got a bit curious, because remember, after Doris was scolded and after Doris exit from the stage, after that only, after Cyril exit from the stage, after that only Doris entered. Okay, after Doris exit from the stage, Cyril entered. So Cyril doesn't know anything what exactly happened. Now Cyril is very curious to know what exactly happened and what her mother told her sister. What is the meaning of curious? Curious means very much eager, or you can say inquisitive. Why? What did she do? Doris, never you mind. Mrs. Pearson rising and preparing to move to the kitchen. Have we any stout left? I can't remember. Cyril, bottle or two, I think, but you don't want stout now. Okay. Now when these things are going on, and Cyril was a bit curious because Cyril thought that her mother was upset and angry with him only. But before her, her mother was upset and angry with his sister, that Cyril didn't knew at that time. When Doris came back once again, and again when Doris was scolded and Doris went on arguing with her mother, then only Cyril realized that maybe a heated conversation happened before he entered the house between his sister and his mother. Then he realized, and that was the reason he was a bit curious, because before he entered already the quarrel had already happened. Okay, and that was the reason when Doris came once again, and we find that a heated conversation started and Doris also went on arguing with her mother. Then only Cyril realized that maybe Doris was being scolded before his arrival by Mrs. Pearson. I hope I made myself very clear. Now she wanted to drink. Previously when Doris entered, she found, much to her great surprise, that her mother was smoking. Now both of them, okay, the brother and the sister, they are both surprised, because now not only she decided to smoke, she already is smoking, now she decided to drink also. Okay, see, now this line is very important. Rising and preparing to move to the kitchen. Have we any stout left? I can't remember. Cyril, bottle or two, I think, but you don't want stout now. Now Cyril is surprised that, mother, seriously, do you want to have stout right now? Do you want to drink? Mrs. Pearson, yes, I do. Cyril, what for? What is the reason that you are about to drink right now? Obviously to drink. Why I am searching for a bottle of wine? Definitely I am searching for a bottle of wine because I want to drink it. And see this line, you clot. Actually it is referred to whom? It is referred to Cyril. And clot means one who is dull-minded, dull-headed. That person is known as a clot. Now, Mrs. Pearson exits right. Instantly, Cyril and Doris are in a huddle, close together at left center, rapidly whispering. They are talking among themselves, okay, rapidly whispering. Doris, has she been like that with you too? That means, see, when Mrs. Pearson went to the other room, has been given the direction where the stout had been kept by Cyril, Mrs. Pearson went to the other room. After Mrs. Pearson went to the other room, Doris and Cyril were in that room. There was no third person. Now they were discussing among themselves, and both the brother and the sister, both of them are equally surprised. They are puzzled, they are perplexed because they are astounded, they are totally shocked because they haven't realized that their mother will go on behaving in this manner, or rather to say, their mother will go on behaving in this way. So they are totally been shocked. See this line, Doris, has she been like that with you too? Cyril, yes, no tea ready, couldn't care less. Doris, well, I am glad it's both of us. I thought I had done something wrong. Okay, now Doris felt relieved. Okay, she felt relieved because Cyril also got scolding from Mrs. Pearson, from their mother. Previously, Doris thought that she did something wrong, then on, that is the reason she got the scolding. But when she found out that Cyril also got the scolding, then at the back of her mind, she was relaxed, or she got relaxed. Cyril, so did I. But it's her, of course. Doris, she was smoking and playing cards when I came in. I couldn't believe my eyes. Okay, please underline this. This was what Doris saw. Okay, when she came inside the house. Okay, she found that Mrs. Pearson, unlike her nature, unlike her character, she was smoking, she was playing cards when Doris came in. And that was something unbelievable, very difficult to believe, because Doris haven't seen her mother in this way before. Okay, and that was the reason she was very shocked. She was astounded, she was shocked because she saw not only her mother playing cards, but she saw her mother smoking also. Now that is something very different. And Cyril also felt very suspicious because her mother was behaving quite in a very different manner, and that was the reason he told his mother that, are you okay? Are you properly fine? Are you completely okay? See, now that part he is referring to his sister. See this line, I asked her if she was feeling off color, and she said she wasn't. Okay, off color means that means whether someone is ill, someone is not feeling well. That is the meaning of the line off color. Cyril also asked or inquired by asking Mrs. Pearson that whether she is feeling okay or not. And when she told Cyril that yes, I am completely fine, then what more Cyril can ask, isn't it? But obviously both the brother and the sister, they came to a conclusion that something is wrong with their mother, because their mother never ever behaved in this way, and they presumed that perhaps she had met with an accident. What sort of an accident? Perhaps she had fallen down from the staircase and she had a bit of a concussion, and that is the reason now she is behaving in a very awkward manner. Okay, so see, it is written here. Whatever I told, you will get to know in the preceding dialogues that will follow right now. See, it is written, well, she is suddenly all different, and that's what made me cry. It wasn't what she said, but the way she said it and the way she looked. Okay, now Doris is saying that I am least bothered what she told, but the way she told me, that means the way she uttered, the way she behaved, the way she interacted with her, it was something that had broken her heart. Whose heart? Cyril's heart. Okay, because Doris's heart, because she never expected her mother to behave in this way, and obviously she criticized about Charles Spencer, Doris's boyfriend, that actually had broken her more. Okay, see, it wasn't what she said. This is a very important line for your MCQ. Okay, very important line. It wasn't what she said, but the way she said it and the way she looked. That means what she told Doris was of less important. Doris is not bothered about it, but the way it was being told, the way her body language, okay, her aggressive an arrogant mentality that was been displayed, okay, that was been shown to Doris, that actually disappointed Doris a lot. Okay, now let me move on to the next dialogue, and this dialogue is of Cyril. Any doubt up to this? Any doubt, or up to this it is clear to all of you? If the,
Sir, clear.
okay, fine. So let us move on then. Cyril, haven't noticed that she looks just the same to me. Doris, she doesn't to me. Okay, now the son was saying that my mother is completely fine to me, but the daughter is saying, no, my dear brother, I find her to be a bit different. So finally, Doris came to a conclusion. This is all predictions, we can say, that probably she had hit her head or something. Maybe she met with an accident. She had fall down from the staircase. She hit her head. She had a bit of a concussion. Okay, see, concussion is here also written. That means these are all wild guesses. Okay, since their mother went to the other room for a bottle of stout. Okay, now since the brother and the sister, they are both in the same room, so they have got some time to discuss before their mother will enter once again, and they came to the conclusion that perhaps she got injured. Maybe she had fallen from the staircase. She had a bit of concussion. Might be. These are the predictions. Cyril, now then, what is it? Doris, if she is going to be like this when dad comes home. Cyril, beginning to go for. I am staying in for that. 2 front dress circles for the first house. Okay, since see, they were very much eager always to go out. They come during the lunch time. Okay, they come during the afternoon time to have a cup of warm tea and snacks, and again they go out. Perhaps they have their dinner outside, but that particular evening, both the brother and the sister decided to stay back. Why? Because they don't wanted to miss out what will be the reaction of their father when he will see their mother behaving in this way. And obviously they are thinking that whether their mother, who was behaving very aggressively and arrogantly and rudely with them, whether she will maintain this aggressive, arrogant manner when she will be talking with their father, when she will be having a conversation with their father. In order to know that, they are pretty excited, and because of that excitement they decided to stay back. Okay, instead of going out, normally they all go out, seldom they stay in the house, but that evening they decided to stay back. They decided to stay in the house to see how mother behaves with father. That is something very important. See, Mrs. Pearson enters, right, carrying a bottle of stout and a half-filled glass. She is about to drink now. Cyril and Doris, they are thinking that their mother, who is very calm and quiet and docile, perhaps she is acting, she is playing a prank with them. But this is not a prank, this is a magic, and they are totally unaware of this. And now it seems that Mrs. Pearson will criticize both of them. See, and how she is criticizing both of them. You two are always talking about being grown up. Why don't you both try for once to be of your age? That try to be responsible. Okay, try to show some maturity. Try to be of your age means be mature. Okay, be reserved. You two are behaving like small children. Now Cyril, can't we laugh now? The way you are behaving, your prank is something commendable. Your acting is commendable and highly appreciated. Now mom, can we laugh? Yes, if it's funny, go on, tell me, make me laugh. I could do with it. Okay, fine. If you find that me scolding you all, me saying you all to be reserved, okay, to show some maturity, if it seems funny to you all, then definitely you can laugh. There is no issues in that. Now look at the dialogue of Doris. You never understand our jokes, mom. Okay, now Doris told her mother that there is a gap. Obviously we can say a generation gap. The jokes, okay, the hilarious comments that we pass on right now, you don't understand all this, mother, because we are far ahead in all these things from you. You don't understand all this. Okay, you don't understand our jokes, mom. Okay, so that is what Doris told Mrs. Pearson. In order to know what Mrs. Pearson told Doris in return, tomorrow I will be discussing that one. So any doubt up to this? Up to page number 41, is there any doubt? Or up to this it is clear to all of you? It is clear to all of you? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you everyone. Please give your attendance in the Google form. Oh, sorry, in the Google Classroom, and attend the class tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be continuing with the same drama, and I will be continuing from page number 42, because page number 41 is already done. I have completed it right now. So page number 42 I will be dealing tomorrow. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you.